Hey guys, it's Tapping Tyler and welcome back to Roblox. So, the book update is here. And, well, I've actually completed the book. Off camera before I made this video. And I did that on purpose. Because I'm going to link Creekcraft's video down in the description showing you how to get all of the pages. And this one is just going to be showing you basically what it all reads out to be. So yeah, that's precisely what we're gonna do. But before we read chapter 1, we are going to let that beautiful, beautiful intro play in. Go ahead, intro. Okay, so here we go. So each page, each chapter, per se, has a picture with a caption and a summary of what happened in the chapter, story-wise, at least. So, since I'm on mobile and my screen isn't that big, I can barely see any of this. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to zoom in like this, and here we go. I was tasked to investigate reports of a missing child named Georgie. As I arrived at the Piggy's household for any leads, I began to notice things were off. It was unusually quiet and quaint. A breeze of unease shrouded me as I stepped out of my vehicle. Without a moment to react, I blacked out and woke up in the bedroom of the house with a beaming headache. Someone had knocked me out and brought me here. But why? If they wanted to get rid of me, why didn't they finish the job? While attempting to piece things together, I encountered a strange, crazed pig with different eyes and a hunger for harm. It didn't talk, it just chased me. Terrifying. As soon as I escaped the house, I decided to get back to the station and get help. What we have here seems to be much more than a missing animal case. And here is the picture with the caption. The Piggy household looks oddly peaceful. Yep, okay, on to chapter 2, the station. Okay. When I reached the station, I had found it to be unusually quiet. No officers celebrating, no criminals rattling their cell doors, nothing. Then, the intercom system spurted out a warning to get to the garage. The voice sounded familiar. It was Doggy, my old partner. I don't know why he showed up on his day off. Maybe it was a distress call that all officers received while I was unconscious in the Piggy house. As I crept about to unlock the garage, I encountered yet another strange-looking pig. It appeared to have black eyes and a violent attitude, just like the last one. What is it with these animals? What happened to them, and what made them like this? Once I opened the garage door, fueled the escape car, and left with Doggy, I felt a sense of dread overwhelm me. I got out, but did not feel safe. I needed to find out what was going on. And the picture and caption, it's a picture of the cells, and cells all empty. I guess they took advantage of the situation. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's how Willow and Rash got out, you know? Or maybe Rash didn't get out. I don't know. Maybe he's just hiding somewhere in this station. But moving on to Chapter 3, The Gallery. Here it is. It turns out the gas can I picked up was almost empty because we found ourselves running out pretty quick. To make matters even worse, we stopped in the middle of the city. A couple of the infected, as Doggy calls them, surrounded our car. We rushed into the nearby building, the gallery. I haven't been here since we started investigating a reported robbery last month. It seemed to be a little run down as well. We quickly sealed the building, only to soon realize that the infected entered as well. It was very strange to see a place, once so calm, become so chaotic. Doggy told me that he never liked galleries anyway. Okay, and we have a picture of the escape door. Sealing ourselves in wasn't the best idea, I'll admit. Yeah, probably wasn't. And hiding the keys around there didn't help, did it? Okay, on to Chapter 4, The Forest. Now, this one has a pretty good amount of text, it seems like. Okay. So, Doggy and I had been safe and sound in this forest for weeks now. We've been silently visiting small towns and taking supplies from them. We spoke for days about what we'll do when it's over. Doggy said he'd like to travel south someday and visit old monuments and ruins. I don't know what I'd do. I couldn't get my mind off of the world state. One night, I woke up to discover a broken and empty potion and a missing friend. I looked around and found Doggy. He was one of them. My gut sank, and I felt weak. Where did this potion come from, and why did he drink it? Was he forced to? He had red eyes, not like the others. Someday, I will get to the bottom of this. As I left the forest to no longer be faced with such a harsh blow to my heart, I came across a radio with a voice that instructed me to head to a school. Clinging on to anything to distract my mind, I followed their instructions. And here's a picture of the forest. Others had the idea to stay too. It looks like it worked out the same way as it did for us. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, moving on to Chapter 5, The School. And oh my gosh, this one has a lot of text. Luckily, we can zoom in. Still recovering from the loss of Doggy, I felt out of touch with reality, like I was a blur just floating through time. However, I pressed on. The radio I found in the forest instructed me to help them out and find their friend trapped in a school. Maybe if I couldn't save my friend, I could help them save theirs. That's when I met Bunny, a sharpshooter bunny with an eye patch. She had barricaded herself in the school surveillance room after a failed supply run. She was very kind, not to mention thankful. Her enthusiasm inspired me to be strong and get a hold of myself. As we headed to the sewers to meet up with the mysterious radio voice, my head started burning up. I did not feel too well at all. I ignored it and continued moving forward. We met with Mr. P, a very rich celebrity. It was certainly strange to find someone of his status walking about in the sewers. He thanked me for my help, but the more he spoke, the harder I found it to pay attention. My head hurt more and more until I passed out there. The last thing I remember was being wheeled in a hospital and seeing Doggy. And we have the school. The empty halls are haunting. Yeah, I guess you could say that. And okay, we're halfway through. Chapter 6, The Hospital. I woke up in a hospital with Bunny by my side. She seemed to lighten up when she saw my eyes open. Bunny explained that Mr. P and the researchers didn't think I'd make it, as I showed minimal symptoms of the infection. She didn't give up on me, though. I rescued her, so she believed it was her duty to protect me from being tossed out and deemed a lost cause. Bunny also told me that I woke up in the perfect time as the place was being evacuated. A doctor was infected and caused severe panic. I jumped out of bed and got to the rooftop, where a helicopter was supposedly waiting for us. It wasn't there. They left without us, to who knows where. Bunny and I needed to come up with a way to get out of the hospital ourselves, and fast. And we have a picture of the hospital, and here's the caption. What a mess. It certainly seemed like a rush to get out of here. Yeah, there's hospital beds everywhere, just laying. Okay, anyway, let's move on to Chapter 7, The Metro. Okay, so let's screenshot this. Open up the screenshot, zoom in, and we made our way through the hospital and down to the underground metro. Bunny and I spoke about Mr. P. I told her my disbelief in his. I could not understand why he would not wait a moment longer for us. She explained that lately he has become more and more delusional and obsessed with his search for a cure. Upon finally reaching the metro, I started to work on repairs for the train. Bunny sat down, not feeling too well. She told me she needed to rest a little before going on, and lent me her crossbow. When the repairs were ready, she told me that she was infected. I was very reluctant to believe her. She explained that she was one of the test subjects of Mr. P's cure tests at the hospital. Hers did not go well. I told her that we would find a cure, and she could hold on long enough to find it. Bunny didn't want to go on, and as she feared putting me in danger. I got on the train, looking back at her as she stayed behind to fight off any infected that may still be there. My heart hurt, and my fist clenched. I was going to find Mr. P. You will be missed, Bunny. Yes, you will. And you still are missed, Bunny. Everybody still loves you. Okay, on to Chapter 8, the Carnival, aka the worst map in all of Piggy. Shh. I arrived at Mr. P's Carnival to search for any leads on where he may be. Unfortunately, there was not much to be found besides an infected fox trapped in a cage. I shiver at the thoughts of how he could have possibly ended up like that. I met two survivors there, Zizzy and Pony. Zizzy was a cunning, skilled fencer, and Pony was a clumsy yet comforting ally. They were kind enough to allow me to join them. They told me they were on a supply run, but found me on the way and trusted me enough. As I was led back to their safe house, they spoke a lot about untrustworthy people and how I should watch out for them. It seemed that this whole situation really brought out the worst in some. A beautiful sight in an ugly time. Yes, that's the exact description of Carnival. Very accurate. Here we go. Chapter 9, The City. We arrived at the city, a rundown mess. They set up their safe house in a hotel as it had plenty of beds and supplies. Recently, they've been running low. It was there I learned a few things about my two new allies. Zizzy taught her younger sisters, Z and Zuzi, how to fight. Pony studied optometry like his father. I told them my story and how I was searching for Mr. P, saying his name struck something in me, a negative emotion that burned inside my gut. As we spoke, we discovered a mysterious figure watching us. It didn't seem to be an infected, as it ran away when we noticed it. Zizzy and I ran after it, because Pony was being a coward. With all of the traffic, it looks like it must have been faster to just run. I guess so. People probably just got out of the cars and ran. And that's how all the car barricades showed up. Okay, here we have Chapter 10, the mall. Oh my god, that's a lot of writing. Okay, well, let's get reading. We chased the figure to the mall only to discover that it was Georgie, the missing child. He had a deep fear in his eyes when we found him in his little fort, coupled with an awful stench. I asked him why he went missing. He told me about his family. They visited the hospital without him and came back acting strange. So he ran off to find his grandmother in the city in hopes that she could help him out. Unfortunately for him, the city seemed to all act the same way his family did by the time he got there. So he hid himself. This poor, cruel world took his family away from him. I could not imagine what that must feel like at his age. So we brought him back to the safe house with us. It was there I met the Safe Place crew. Zizzy's sisters, Mimi and Giraffe. Mimi was a smart engineer. She knew her way around technology quite well. Giraffe was a tough guy with a strong passion for nature and ecology. He loved plants. The meeting was short-lived, however, as Mimi had managed to find a working helicopter signal at the nearby military outpost. Pony informed us of the news. We left Georgie in the care of the others as Pony, Zizzy, and I journeyed to the outpost.
I'm gonna go in the left and look down.
Oh, okay. Georgie's hideout. I'm impressed with his survival skills. Yeah, a kid at that age can survive that well. I don't think I could survive that well. And I think Georgie is like 6, maybe 7. But here we go. Chapter 11, The Outpost. The outpost was swarming with infected soldiers. The three of us opened the sealed doors of the plant, where Mr. P presumably flew to. As I prepared to enter, Georgie showed up. He snuck out of the safe place and followed us. I was not pleased to see him at all, because he could have been easily harmed. It was a relief to see him unsheathed, though. I can't say I was surprised after finding out how well he managed on his own. He wanted to see Mr. P, the one responsible for making his family act the way they did. I reluctantly agreed to bring him along as he remained close. Wait. Oh my gosh. As long as he remained close and out of any more trouble. Georgie and I entered the plant, leaving Zizzy and Pony to fend off against the soldiers and protect us from being swarmed. It was there that we found Mr. P speaking strangely. He seemed to hold a deep regret for his actions, and could not seem to cope with them. When he realized we were there, he believed we were nothing but ghosts who had come to haunt him. Mr. P was unable to come to terms with reality and ran off. We followed him for a final confrontation. And there it is. Looks like whatever plans they had, they abandoned. I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that. They are trying to nuke this place. They are trying to nuke the world. Ah, yes, the government. What? Am I even gonna be able to read? Yeah, that's gonna be a no. That's gonna be a no. That goes for a great thumbnail, you know? I couldn't imagine working near something like this at all. I couldn't imagine working near something like this all day, or in a facility like this at all. Yeah, okay, well, let's go over to the Creekcraft channel so he can read us, this small text. Let's go. Okay, so there are a few things in this video that aren't actually in the thing, and I think you'll know which ones they are. So yeah, let's just listen to this.
I couldn't imagine working near something like this all day or in a facility like this at all. Mr. P's delusional thoughts grew wilder as he began to attack us in an attempt to get us to leave him alone. We persisted in trying to get his attention, but he would not listen. He was in a world of his own, blinded by his own remorse. It was not long before I, too, began to suffer from unwanted thoughts. I cycled through my own memories, being attacked by the past. I was searching for something, anything, to get me back into the real world. That was until I found a photo of Miss P's wife. She was a true hot mama. A real hot potato. I showed it to him, and that was when it all came back to him. He finally came to terms with his actions, seeing us no longer as regretful memories. He told us his story. He did everything he could to save his wife, who was suffering from a sickness, and caused the world to burn in the process. Nothing hurt him more in this world than himself, and he was afraid of his actions. He became more and more desperate for solutions, sacrificing those closest to him in the process. Georgie was upset and wanted revenge, but I convinced him that it's not the Jedi way. If he harmed Mr. P, he would not be any better than Mr. P. He was too blinded by his emotions to realize what he was doing, and if Georgie went through with it, he would be lost to the dark side. We soon left the plant, leaving behind Mr. P, Zizzy, and Pony. who greeted us with great joy. With the search for Mr. P finally over, we were unsure of what to do. We all stopped to take a moment to think. That's when Zizzy and Pony started kissing. It was kind of gross. Then George's face lit up as he came up with an idea. What if we looked for a cure? Maybe it wasn't such a ridiculous idea. We live in a world full of all sorts of people, so perhaps it wouldn't be too far-fetched to come across someone working on something that could help us out. There's only one way to find out. There it is.
Yes, there it is. The entire Piggy Book 1 story. Summed up and written out. All in one single book. So yeah, if you are not like just looking for the storyline and you want to know how to, or where rather, to find the pages, I'm going to link a Creek Craft video down in the description below. And in the pinned comment. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. There was a lot of effort put into it. Just getting all those pages took me about 3 hours. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you are new, and tap the notification bell. I hope to see you soon, and as always, just keep tapping. And now, I shall stand here until I die. I shall stand here until I die. Rash, that's your cue. Rash. Hey, Rash. Oh, yeah. I will stand here until I die. No, yeah. Yeah, okay, goodbye.